Well, how's this for confidence? We're wearing it in the kitchen, Jamie Lee. It's time for the Culinary Hotline. Bling it!
Sing, sing, sing.
Perhaps to spark some inspiration for ideas you might... Thank you very much. Some hand sanitizer there. Ideas you might need to have during this time of lockdown, which, by the way, starts tomorrow.
Oh, I know the clock is ticking.
How are you adjusting to the idea of lockdown?
Well, I think, you want to be prepared and not go, too crazy out there. Our food chain will still keep going. I mean, obviously, we're working the food side of things there. That's all secure. And, yeah, you just got to be prepared. And I think, it's a mental change. It's an adjustment. And we've got to do what we're going to do. Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's get into your questions, of course, that you sent us through on our Espresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page. The first of which came from Princess Bunny Bibi, who says, how can I make the perfect waffle? Mine are always sloppy. Okay, all right, let's get into that culinary conundrum over there, making good waffles.
Well, again, a waffle is basically a thick pancake mixture, really, in terms of you think of ingredients of what we've got. So we've got some melted butter, eggs, bit of milk, flour. And obviously now, because again, what you want a bit of the raise, you want that lightness, that lovely fluffiness, a bit of baking powder into there. And then it's whatever filling that you really want to go in with. So that's what's really important. And then obviously the consistency is what is really important. So if you have a look at that consistency.
That's what you want.
That's what you basically.
That's a lot thicker than I would have thought.
Much thicker, especially the waffle, because you basically think of it, I suppose it's in between, pancake and a cake maybe, and you're blending that kind of, consistencies together. You want a little bit of rise, but not too much. So, I mean, a cake would be a little bit runnier maybe, but again, it depends on what you decide.
It's like the muffin's cousin.
Exactly, there we go. Now we're starting to talk. So, to very quickly make that, eggs into the bowl with your milk.
Fresh eggs, of course.
Fresh eggs, fresh eggs. Do you need any other eggs, by the way?
Well, no, I just know that when it comes... I've always heard that, using fresher eggs is preferable.
So anyway, fresh eggs. Sorry, I just,
Tjaart's still not buying my theory.
I'm still buying your theory on that one there. So anyway, back to reality with our fresh eggs. So similar ingredients together. In with your wet ingredients, because all similar consistencies bind together a lot better. So that's what we've got there. And then from there, you're going to take in your baking powder, add it into your flour. It's already been sifted. Keep it light, keep it fluffy. That's what we really want. So
by the way, baking powder, is that the one that already includes bicarb in it? Or because remember,
so that's got the raising
agent.
The raising agent in that there.
Yes.
All right, and then from there, fillings. I mean, what have you got in the home? I mean, you've got that wonderful drawer with all sorts of herbs and spices and things. You could add all sorts into here, but today, because it's breakfast time, some bacon and cheese.
Could you go, if you were someone with a sweeter palate, you could go for the more berry-flavored
absolutely.
waffle.
Okay, so berries, be very careful, because why? They are wet.
Okay.
So they become very soggy. So what I suggest, if you're going to do some berries, just toss them in a little bit of corn flour.
Okay.
And that will just help coat the outside, of that corn flour absorbs all of the moisture content. So be very careful on that there. Reduce your liquid component.
Okay.
Remember, what is our desired consistency in that there?
All
right. Okay. So dry ingredients, and then pop them all into your mixture here. Just like that. And then let's remove the whisk and go in with our spatula. And then literally, it's just bringing that together. But imagine, this is great fun. Get the kids involved. Because this is such fun. Create a bit of a conveyor belt. I mean, you haven't got too many, but those who've got like 5 or 6 kids, lined up there. You get one to do. So one puts the eggs and then the milk, and then you whisk, and it goes on to the next one.
Get them working for their breakfast.
Get them in the kitchen and get them working.
That's good.
All right. So bring that together, and then what's really important, like most batters like this, is allow it to now absorb. So what you want is that the liquid to go into the flour, all right? So it really becomes a much thicker consistency.
I see it's bubbling on the surface there.
Well, that's just because I'm beating it with the aeration and that there.
Okay.
So again, bring it together really quickly. This is not something that you sort of mix and mix and mix and mix, because obviously it's going to develop the gluten, which you don't want to do, and you'd have a very sort of tough, tight mixture, which is what you don't want. But that's your mixture done like that.
Okay.
And, after a little bit of time, is this beautiful, thick consistency.
Beautiful stuff.
And then all you need to do is get your waffle iron out, give it a bit of a spray with that dreadful stuff, that
hopefully it's clean.
non-stick and all the rest of it, and a clean one there.
And by the way, you can SMS the keyword EAT to 33728.
And what's really important is get it hot as well. make sure it is hot. Don't make sure it's sort of this limpid temperature. Wait between batches to really get it back up to temperature.
Okay.
So that's something you're very important.
Why is that
to do at
important?
home. Well, because remember, if you were to put this mixture into a sort of a limp sort of oven, in essence, you don't put a cake.
I don't think
like
anybody's
limp
ever
oven.
described a waffle iron as limp, but
Well,
okay.
you can remember what it's like. You're not going to forget that. Anyway, pop the lid on there. I won't say nice and hot and fiery and feisty for this time.
It's like my fresh egg analogy. Well, we all have our little anecdotes.
Absolutely. Pop that in, and then usually the lights go on and off and tells you when it's ready. But you can have a little bit of a peek.
Yeah,
It's going to take a couple of minutes. Just be careful, obviously, with the kids and stuff if you are going to get them to get involved. But just pop it onto there, and then have your oven preheated at about sort of 150 degrees. That you just pop it in just to keep it warm and make your batches. And then you can just start piling up bit by bit, and then put whatever you want on it on top. I mean, bacon and eggs. How's that? Instead of toast, fresh homemade waffles.
And they've got crispy bacon inside and cheese inside, and you can add some avo on top of that as well, maybe if you like.
Absolutely, some avo, and you got a little sauce. I mean, you can pop a hollandaise onto that if you really wanted to. I mean, there's so much you can do. And you can really drag this out in the morning to entertain the kids, entertain the family. But if anything, what I think is so amazing and not so amazing about this whole virus, it's just going to bring so many people together and just cook and have fun in the kitchen.
Very, very true. See if you can start at 6 o'clock in the morning, serve breakfast by 12 o'clock. It's brunch time, kids. In the meantime, you can drink water. But listen, if you have any culinary questions for our team, please post them to our Facebook page. And of course, don't go away, because when we come back, we are going to be making some scrumptious Belgian waffles.
Ooh.
What? All right, welcome back to the Kitchen of Deliciousness for another round of the Culinary Hotline Bling!
Sing, sing, sing.
And today we're celebrating waffles in all of their glory and splendor. These versatile dough-based gridded cakes that can be eaten for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks, and dessert. And for 21 days, they're amazing. You don't want to have them for every single one of those 21 days, but they're delicious. That's what I'm saying, okay? They're easy to make as well. Chef Tjaart is in the kitchen joining us to make a treat that she got to enjoy as a result of her success on Taste Masters.
Yes.
Because as a result of winning Taste Masters, you got to travel all the way to Belgium. Did you get to eat Belgian waffles?
I did, and I must say that we've been doing it wrong. The rest of the world, we've been doing it wrong.
Okay, all right, so let's take it right to the sauce.
Let's take it back.
Tjaart, have you ever made Belgian waffles?
Oh, absolutely. And I've also been very fortunate a couple of times over the years to go back to Belgium. And yeah, there is something really incredible about a traditional, like we have traditional, there's classical. We understand as traditional foods.
Yes.
And they would talk about classical recipes. When you get a classical Belgian recipe or a Belgian waffle, oh my goodness. Ah!
Quick side question.
Yes.
Who makes better chocolate? The Belgians or the Swiss?
Oh,
That's neck and neck right now.
No, so I think the
Belgium.
Swiss probably in some ways, but again, it depends on what kind of chocolate you're after and stuff,
Okay.
I mean, you can't even think it's about this glitzy packet at the end of the day. I mean, these glitzy packets all look good, but I mean, that's fooling yourself. You actually got to really understand what goes into that product. And is it, and I ask a lot of you out there with chocolate, is it chocolate that you are eating? Get to know your food product.
Maybe the chocolate that is best in the world to enjoy is from Africa, where the cocoa beans are from.
Aha! Now we're talking, and I tell you, we have some amazing local product. But anyway, I digress.
Back to the
go
Belgian.
to local
Digress.
chocolate.
Back to their waffle.
So we're going to be making the Belgian waffle, and what is different about theirs is that theirs is actually a dough. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna ask you just to get mixing with that while I explain what I'm saying. So we're gonna get in some flour, salt, and some yeast.
Yeah.
So normally when we make waffles, it's more of a pancake texture.
Yeah,
Very
more
runny,
batter than dough.
More batter than dough. But with theirs, it's more of an actual dough, and then you just work in. Actually, let me steal this and you use that. Yeah, and then so it's very, very light. But when they make theirs, they're very doughy and thick.
So that would mean that like when you bite into it, it's more dense.
Not even.
No, actually lighter.
Nice and fluffy.
But what's really important with the Belgian waffle is the crispness. It's the texture on the outside that you have. So like, think of it like this way, like a really crispy potato on the outside. You think of a roast potato, and on the inside, it's the lightest, fluffiest sort of consistency.
Okay.
Am I right, Jimmy? Is that
You
about
are
right? Or am I
100%
talking
correct.
complete nonsense?
So how do they achieve it? Is it by the ratio of wet to dry ingredients that's more weight towards the dry ingredients?
In essence, yes, but also they have a secret ingredient inside of those, and that's sugar pearls. So they literally have sugar crystals in there. So obviously, as it bakes in the waffle machine, it gets nice and crispy and caramelizes when the sugar melts. And then when you bite into it, because the sugar is still soft, it actually becomes, it's like a syrup, a caramel syrup that you're eating inside of the actual waffle. And that's why it's always best to eat it warm. Eat it warm. What we've done now is we've mixed up all the ingredients. So yes, people are probably shocked. Oh my gosh, it looks like you're making bread.
It's so dry.
Exactly. So we're gonna make this mixture here, and then we're gonna add the sugar crystals. We're gonna let this rise. But luckily we've got a mixture that we made earlier. So I'm just gonna add some of these sugar crystals in there.
Okay,
And then
so that's when you add them.
Yeah, so you let that mixture rise first for about 3 hours, and then once it's risen, then you add your sugar crystals or your sugar pearls. And I was also very shocked to find that it's not easy to find sugar pearls this side. So you make like maybe sugar cubes.
Yeah, just get up sugar cubes, just cut them, crunch them, cut them up there. Absolutely.
Basically, yeah. And then
SMS the keyword sweet to 33728, by the way. Quick side note, so once it's at that kind of consistency there, Tjaart, would you be adding a little bit more moisture to it to get it to this?
Okay, so you guys slightly different there. You know, if you look at this, they put a little bit more liquid ratio into here that you could do. But I mean, you want to keep it, you know, as Jimmy says, you know, thick, and you got to think of your consistencies. There's so many different variations of it. So you do want maybe probably a little bit more liquid. That's liquid there. But again, it all varies in its own kind of way. Another one, yeah. Cat knows what he wants there. Get it into there. So again, remember, what are you trying to do in the cooking process? And that's what one's trying to understand in the Belgian waffle. So you want to reduce the moisture content, because if you reduce moisture content, there's not too much steam. Steam is what creates it nice and soft and fluffy.
Yes.
What do I want? I want something lovely and crispy.
Yeah.
So to get crisp, I need to make sure the liquid content is out or removed or not there for a long period of time. So that's why, you know, as Tsumi says, you want to actually reduce your amount of liquid or have a much thicker consistency for that there. But again, it depends on your ratios, and there are so many different variations of it. But what works for you, just use it.
And the yeast as well, obviously, because it's going to allow it to loosen up and break up and activate the actual ingredients there. So it's going to loosen up at some point anyway. Okay. So not too much liquid, but you'll see how it's going to.
Yeah, and so you've got some strawberries, you've got some raspberries there. What did you enjoy it with when you were in Belgium?
I literally just powdered sugar, icing sugar.
Oh,
nothing
yeah.
else.
Wow.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Lots of ice and sugar.
Is that you there?
That is the waffle. It
look at that.
Wow,
nice and fluffy and delicious, and it's a pillow of goodness. It was amazing.
Yeah. Oh.
Delicious.
Pillow of goodness. I like the sound of that. Okay, we're going to let these do their thing. Yeah. Nicole, I hope we've got some powdered sugar somewhere in the kitchen. Please, please. Try this out at home. SMS the keyword, which is sweet, to 33728.